Well, Francesca, thank you so much for joining us. I know that you've been part of Little Lyons for many years with your own children and then helping with the kitchen team. So thank you for being willing to chat now.
Thank you so much for having me, Charlotte.
And Francesca, I wanted to ask you the story of how you came to know Jesus personally. And so can I start by asking, was that as a child or was it later that you came to know Jesus?
No, it wasn't as a child. It came later. I was, I suppose, nominally a Christian. I had I was christened as a Christian. It was, my book was stamped, as it were, but I didn't really come to faith until much later in my in my 30s.
Okay, so what happened in your 30s?
So, well, there were a couple of things. I wouldn't say it was an immediate transformation, but there were a couple of things. I had always probably thought of myself as an agnostic, never really realizing what the relevance of Jesus was and not being quite convinced that there even was a God, but I was, keeping my options open, as it were, until one day, my elder child went to nursery, and in the nursery there was another lady there that I met and got friendly with, and we started chatting on the train, and just what somebody would call maybe a random encounter or completely out of the blues, we've discovered that we were in fact cousins, second cousins. Her father was related to my father in Nigeria, even though I hadn't met him because he was assassinated when I was 2. So I didn't know anything about them. And anyway, we discovered that we had this family connection. And that was just, to me, very, very, very strange, because of all places in the world, I thought, how can this be in Barnet? So that kind of made me wonder a little bit, this is not random. And then there was another lady as well who was coming to the same nursery with her child. And she had quite a strong faith, I would say, a Christian faith. And I was very struck by her and by my cousin in that they both were Christian, but that they had kind of an assurance about them that and a joy as well, that every day, even if they were going through some really difficult times or they were having a bad day, they always had this assurance and this joy. And I heard them talk about praying. I heard them talking about Jesus. And I was just struck by, how kind of different their attitude was really to mine. So that was one thing that planted this idea that, maybe I should look at faith again, as it were. It didn't really form into Christianity, but certainly I should look at God and his existence again, maybe. But
yeah. So that was the first thing you said. Was there anything else? What was kind of the second thing?
Well, some time went past, and I was going through quite a difficult personal time in my life. And again, my son was at nursery, and one day he brought home around Christmas time a little invitation to the nativity play at Lyons down. So as I said, I was going through a difficult time, and I just thought once that day, I thought, come on, let's just go and let's get out and go. So I piled the kids into the buggies and up we went. And I was struck because I was kind of expecting to, I really went for the children more than anything and just to have a change of scenery. But I was struck because I didn't really hear this story of baby Jesus in the arms and some animals in the manger and some, nicely dressed kings bringing gifts. That's not really what I heard, although that was what I was expecting. And I actually started hearing things about salvation, about sin, about Jesus's purpose coming, why he was born. And I remember going away thinking, hang on a minute, I've heard something here and I'm not quite, it's different. So it just, sparked my curiosity and my intrigue. And I just thought, I'm going to come on Sunday and listen and come to the sermon and listen to the service. It was a really welcome, it was a really nice welcome as well. So I didn't feel embarrassed. I didn't feel shy about coming or, all those things that might stop you from coming. So I came along on the Sunday and, I sat and listened to the sermon and Charles preaching. And I was just really, really surprised. For one, we were opening the Bible and reading it, and it was being picked apart basically and explained to us so that you could understand, why things were being said and where it came from. So it was referenced in the Bible. And I heard again about salvation over the weeks. I kept coming back. I kept coming back because I was so intrigued. And I heard about salvation and sin, and they all explained to me in ways that I understood, and the relevance of Jesus, especially, why he came, why he died on a cross, because that was his purpose for coming, and God had sent him to die on a cross so that his people could be saved. And that included me, in my sin, which wasn't, as it was explained to me, not just a list of do's, don'ts, and little things that you've done wrong, and this, or even killing, or whatever it might be. It was basically this idea of living my life apart from God and not acknowledging him in my life. And that really, really blew me away, because I really kind of understood that's what it's about. And actually, that's how easy it is to be loved by God. It was, he did it on the cross with Jesus, not me or anything like that. And so I was just really, really, really blown away by that. And I just kept coming back. And I think that's just what, formed me to really believe and have faith, and to believe in Jesus, and to understand who Jesus was and how relevant he was in my life.
And did you become a Christian? Was there like a moment where you became a Christian?
No, I wouldn't say so. I mean, I know some people say that, for some people it's an immediate revelation or transformation. Or I would say for me, God's work was slow. Maybe he kind of understood that I need to be slow, and that it's little by little, and just having things explained, the conviction and the understanding where they came from, the evidence, as it were, being shown to me through the Bible, through the gospel of who he was. And yeah, that's how I just really, really became to believe. And probably that was the best thing for me, because it made my faith very strong rather than just a flash in the pan type of thing. Yeah.
And how did it feel when you became a Christian at that point, at somewhere, we don't know exactly when? What did it feel like?
I think it felt, for me, it's been like having a weight lifted off my shoulder. It means I'm not searching for those big questions in life so much anymore, like, why am I here? What's my purpose? If I'm going through a bad time, oh, woe is me. It's I understand now why I'm here. I'm here to give glory to God. I'm here by the grace of God. And it's just sort of taken that pressure away of me feeling I can do something to change my life, or to make myself happy, or to, make myself go to heaven, or be a good person, especially that being a good person. It's taken away that pressure. It's just been a revelation, I would say, and a weight off my shoulders. And to know that he's got my back, God's got my back.
And has life been easy for you since then? Has it got a lot easier?
No, life is not easy. I wouldn't say life isn't easy for anybody. And I think even for Christians, life is no different in the day to day. I was this lone parent, trying to juggle that with work, with all other things that might come along in life. And it wasn't easy at all the time. But the comfort is that I can go to God in prayer. I can put my troubles at his feet in prayer. I can read the Bible to hear him speaking to me and giving me encouragement and support. And also sometimes, teaching me where I'm going wrong, sort of guiding me where I should be going right again. And that's been a huge help. And also having the church family around me, which is knowing that even though I don't have necessarily a lot of physical family around me, the church family understanding that I have a family which is worldwide, who have the same love for God, the love for Jesus, and not feeling alone. So, yeah, that's been a huge encouragement.
Well, thank you so much, Francesca, for sharing all of that with us.
You're quite welcome.